Today is October 29th, 2024. My name is Bobby Goodman, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Liz Feldman and Eric Feldman. So welcome.
Thank you.
So either one of you can go first, but just I'm going to throw this out, and whoever wants to take it, take it. Please tell me a little bit about yourself, your roots, where you're from, that kind of stuff.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
Born and raised in Dallas. Probably about age 3, moved to Sugar Land with my mom and my stepdad, but spent all of our holidays, all of our summers here in Dallas, deep roots in Dallas. I have 3 kids. I have boy-girl twins that are 8, and I have a 10-year-old, and they are my life. But I also am very passionate about my career. I work in biotech as well and help to bring oncology meds to folks, and that gives me a lot of pleasure too, satisfaction.
Awesome.
That was pretty good. I'm Eric Feldman. Same idea as Liz here. Obviously, we're brother and sister. So grew up in Dallas, Baylor Hospital born, and our parents got divorced. So we did the Southwest Airlines flights every other weekend in Dallas. But we went to school in Sugar Land, kind of first grade through high school. And then we were lucky enough after college to both move back to Dallas, and now all of our parents and everybody was in Dallas, and lots of roots here. Grandparents had a pawn shop called Label's Pawn Shop, on Elm Street.
If not able,
see Label. And, great-grandparents, everybody came to Dallas. So from here, I have 3 children as well, Levi, Brooks, and Shoshana the Princess. And I work with Longhorn Investments, and I've been there a long time. We lend money to people doing real estate deals.
Awesome. So what is your connection to Dallas Hebrew Free Loan Association?
I'll go first now.
Great.
Yeah, so our great-grandfather, Wolf Reisberg, was one of the founding members. And so kind of cool when I'd always thought about joining Dallas Hebrew Free Loan, and I remember having our grandparents having meetings in their house at Bubby and Zadie's house, and kind of hearing them have chat about giving money to this cause and helping this person, and it always resonated with me, and I just didn't really know how to get into the organization, I guess, short of calling, and I was doing I was doing a leadership deal with the Federation, LDG, and so Sarah Davis and Abby Fuqua was, kind of mentioned the organization, and I was like, wow, I gotta get involved in that. And in our first meeting I went to that, I sort of forgot, Liz probably remembered, but I forgot our great-grandfather's involvement in it. And so, they were going through the introductory things, and they were like, so here's the founding members, and up there was Wolf Reisberg, and started in his grocery store, and it really just was like a full circle, family, great feeling.
Yeah, and I'll say, Eric has probably a better idea because he was older of kind of the roots of the organization. I have very vivid memories of, do you remember this, coming to the JCC and in the summers, and my dad and my uncle and my Zadie being in the boardroom here back in the day in the early 90s, and us just playing while they were finishing their meetings. And so actually the genesis of me joining was Eric. He said the minute he joined, he was like, Liz, do you remember all of the great things that the Dallas Hebrew Free Loan did? I go, of course I did. And he's like, this is the most rewarding organization that I've been a board member on. He's like, I gotta get you on here, and the rest is history.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you recall this special feeling learning about it because from your ancestors, right?
Correct.
Do you remember? Kind of, was it just that meeting that got you the young leadership, I think?
Yeah, it was LDG.
Yeah, that kind of got involved, or do you remember what was the spark of what they said, or remembering the roots of where you?
I do. So like when I was younger, pre-married, pre-kids, I would always be involved in something. I did Big Brother, Big Sister for a long time, like a decade.
Yeah.
And then you have a family, and that's kind of where all your time goes. But I felt like I was lacking this, like, how can I do something philanthropic? How can I give back? With not that much time on my hands, but something I can do that's worthwhile. And I think Sarah or Abby, one of them said it's just so neat when you're on a call with somebody, and they literally need something right then. Something bad happened in their life, and they could use help to literally make their rent payment, or they have a child that has special needs, and you could actually help educate that child or help them, and right then, like on the phone, you're making the decision. It's not one of these things you got to have 15 meetings to figure out what you're going to do.
Right.
It's immediate, and the impact is immediate, and you're helping like one individual at a time. And they said something to that extent, and I'm like, all right, when's the next meeting? And I literally went to the next meeting. They handed me a flyer, and that was it.
And Liz, what was it that Eric said to you that made you decide to, I need to get involved with this as well?
Honestly, it was when he started talking about our roots and how the Feldmans really helped to found the organization and to continue that legacy, especially for, to Eric's point, people that really need it. It's a way to connect with the Jewish community, a way to continue to make sure that they're successful in what they're doing. And to his point, you get to make these connections very quickly by listening to these loans. And you, even this week, and we had done a fertility loan, and we got to hear from the couple who had the child. I mean, what greater reward, right?
Yeah,
Of bringing another Jewish baby into this world, right? Into a world where we need that so much right now. That's what connected it. I also just wanted to mention too, like, you always, obviously our dad passed away, and you always want to have some type of connection with the folks that have made your life who they are and who you are. And this makes me feel like I'm closer to my dad by being a part of an organization like this.
That's awesome. Well, so let me just, for context of time, so your grandfather started it. Great-grandfather. What year? So this is the fourth generation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was trying to remember. So he came over in 1922 from Poland. Spent 7 years to try to make enough money to bring my Bubby and her four other sisters over. And so in 1929 is when they all came. And then I think I don't remember my exact. You'd have to fact check me, but I think mid-30s is when this when they had their first meeting.
And every generation involved?
Yeah, so like, but
that's pretty amazing.
Zadie was president. My Uncle Marvin was a president.
And
I know my dad was involved. I don't think he was a president, but he was involved.
He was just a board member. And then now you, and then me.
Yeah.
So how many years have each of y'all been active?
I think this is my third year coming up.
This is my second year. But I don't know about Dad and Zadie and all of them. I'm not sure how long they were a part of it.
A few years back I started, and then after my first year I joined now I'm VP of loans, which is funny because at my job I think I'm SVP of loan production, so it's a funny little mix that we do. It kind of, there's some parallels too in what we do there, and hopefully Liz will be on the executive committee in no time. Yeah.
And so committees, all sorts of committees. So tell us a little bit about some of the other roles that, like Liz, have you been involved with?
So I think Jane, she loves to come to me for the loans because that's my favorite part of being on the board, is being able to actually get to meet the people who you're serving. So she'll send an email out and I try to respond within seconds of, okay, I'm available. So that's my contribution, obviously, as well as raising money to help to provide more loans for our community.
That's excellent. So Eric, what do you find most rewarding from being involved? Yeah,
so I think what's really rewarding is the different segments of people that you can help. Because like if you're doing, I'm just making it up, but if you're doing, every organization matters, right? But if you're doing child diabetes, you're helping children with diabetes, right? That's the one thing you're focusing on, which is great. Here you may help somebody that needs a college education. You may help somebody that needs fertility. You may help somebody that lost their job and can't make their rent. We've had some horrific stuff. Somebody who needs an operation, all kinds of things where individuals, you help a whole variety of people, and literally in a month you may help 5 different people that needed 5 different things, and I love that you can touch that many different individuals in need.
How about you, Liz?
That's a hard fact to follow. I would say it's similar, but I would say I do love the fact that you're helping someone that can then help themselves. And the coolest part about that is then it comes full circle, and a lot of those folks, they get a leg up, and then they join the organization, and then they recruit people. And how cool is it to have a way to ask for help where you get to keep your pride, it's anonymous, and then you get to give it back. Like, I don't know another organization like that. It's pretty darn cool.
That's awesome.
You did pretty well with the follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent. We'll go back to Eric here. What have you learned during your time at DHFLA that you wished everybody knew?
Yeah, I think it actually spawns up of what Liz just said, in that, you know, I never really thought about it, but you have this amount of money that you're giving to people, or loaning to people rather,
Mm-hmm.
and that the cool part about it is they pay it back in increments that, you know, work for them, and that money, after they pay that loan back, that goes to another person. It's not, you know, just, it keeps on being recycled over and over, and the more money we raise, we have that much more that gets recycled. And I mean, it's simple, right? But somebody pays a loan off, and then that goes back into the pot, and then it goes to the next person. And then maybe even better, you have that person come in and say, you guys, I mean, we've had people that have spoken at our Zeros for Heroes events, and I think we have a big one coming up, 90th anniversary?
90th,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, you know, we've had somebody that, you know, in the time of need, they came over from Russia, they got a loan, they let them go to school, and now they're a successful lawyer. And they're like, how can I give money to this organization that helped me get to where I don't know that I would have unless they were there? So it's really cool to see this, you know, money kind of being recycled and used over again and helping future generations.
So do you think the public, do you think they have a good grasp of that, or they don't really know that,
No.
that what's happening there?
That's
behind
what
the
I would
scenes?
say from my perspective to
Yeah.
add on to what
No.
you're asking. That's what I wish, or that's what I would want, for more people to know this is available. You know, we're small but mighty, but not everybody knows we exist. And it's like, how many more folks are out there that need help and have no idea that we are here?
Well, it's obvious you're both very passionate about it, and coming from the roots, and then you know getting involved in the whole bit. What, Eric? What is there anything else that I haven't asked that you would like people to know about the organization?
Yeah, so like I think it fits any walk of life, right? You could be a 25-year-old and want to do this because you'd like to help people get education. You want to help people in need for whatever that is, right? Or you could be a 75-year-old and want to do this. I think the cool part and what I use to kind of motivate my sis, and which was Jane motivated me in a way. Jane, who is heading up the organization, we understand that you're 40-something years old, you're in the kind of the thick of, you got kids in sports, you got work, you got a million obligations. This is not the kind of organization that you have to meet 4 times a week for 4 different hours, and we understand that your time is limited. This is something you can get involved with, whether you do a loan every 2 months, and by a loan I mean you get on a conversation, you're the committee that decides that the person gets the loan. You can do that once every couple months, and that's your involvement, right? And anybody can really make time for 30 minutes every couple months. Mm-hmm. Or if you want to be more involved and be on a committee, and even that is, I'm spending, I think I have a meeting, once every other month for something like that, and it's 6 meetings a year for something like that. You can make time for that. It fit my lifestyle and my, where I am. But I just think it touches so many different people. It really could work as a recruiting thing. I think it works from anybody, college all the way to,
90, whatever.
Yeah.
100.
I don't know if everybody knows that,
Right. Liz, you want to tackle that same question?
Yeah, I would say the biggest point that I want the community to know about this organization is there are obviously different waves of life, and we go through different things, and to put away your pride, because who doesn't need a little help sometimes? Mm-hmm. And not only that, but it's not like we're giving you anything. You can still have your pride. You're paying it back. It's available to you to help relieve the burden, and whatever burden that is. I think that's really important, to put that pride away.
Awesome. Well, I have to tell you, being a close friend of your dad, I can tell you how proud he must be of y'all continuing this. You're obviously very passionate about it, and thank you very much. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, you got me.
No,
with that
you got
last
me
comment.
too.
Huh?
No.
That was a nice comment.
Okay. Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.